Every morning when I leave for work, I see my neighbor's kids being crammed into an MPV as they fight for the best seat in the house for their school run. Now, an MPV or an MUV may not be the most desirable form of an automobile, but it sure is very valid in the real world. Now, Maruti Suzuki's Ertiga has been performing very well on the sales charts as an MPV for the past few years, ever since its launch in 2012. The car has been selling about 4,500 units on a monthly basis, which is very good considering that the Ciaz sells well over 5,500 units on an average. Now, it's been 6 years since the Ertiga was originally launched in India during the year 2012. And considering the evolving demands of the Indian car buyer, Maruti has now brought about this new second generation model of the Ertiga. Maruti has built this car on the 5th generation of their autoX platform. But as you can see, leaving aside the new front end, the overall silhouette of the car remains much the same as earlier. And in fact, the car retains its 2,740mm wheelbase, identical as the previous car. So this new autoX platform ensures that the Ertiga has now got a new front end subframe and a new rear subframe. The rear axle, in fact, is all new as well. But leaving aside all the technical stuff for now, the new front end looks very nice. That chrome-studded front grille is big and imposing. The new headlights are xenon projectors. They're not LED projectors like all the other Marutis get. But what is the really good part is that these projectors are standard across the model range of the Ertiga, starting with the L models, going all the way up to the Z Plus models. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the wheelbase is identical to the previous model, and that's a good thing, because these doors are really long, as you can see, especially the rear one. So it ensures that there's plenty of space for ingress and egress, making this a very practical MPV. Now, in context to the previous model again, the windshield line here, the door shut lines are all identical to the previous model. But Maruti says that the door sill has been lowered now so that you feel more airy inside the cabin. Now, we've looked at the new front end that's more upright and definitely more appealing. Well, when it comes to the back of the car, you won't be disappointed here either. For this whole new taillight cluster looks very appealing and upmarket, and the update has really justified the new rear end. Now, as mentioned earlier, the new front and rear end subframes ensure that the new Ertiga is now 130mm longer than the previous car. So this new tailgate, it protrudes out towards the center portion of it and then goes back down again. The new lights again flow from the pillars onto the boot lid, and the thick chrome strip lends a nice garnish to it. What stands out a little bit at the source side is this smallish stop lamp. It looks a little odd in otherwise a very good design of the vehicle. So the new chassis alongside the longer length has made this car 40mm wider than earlier, and it's just a marginal 5mm taller than the previous car. However, despite its new platform, this Ertiga weighs identically the same in the base petrol variant as the previous model. The diesel model is 15 kilos lighter than earlier, while the petrol top-end model is 10 kilos lighter than earlier. But it's on the inside where Maruti has really gone to work with this update. For this car gets an all-new dashboard. There's a 4-layer theme going on. There's a different shade here. There's the air vents, which are designed to look like they're stretched all across the dashboard and behind the infotainment screen and the instrument cluster. Now, when I was talking to the Maruti officials, what they told me is that they have gone for this design because they want to distinguish all their products. You know, earlier the dashboards were shared between other models, but now customer demand states that they like individual styling for different models. And this looks fairly nice actually. There's the foam maplewood finish here, which doesn't look too bad at all. And there's a lot going on. In fact, this car now gets a lot more equipment over the previous model. There is this new climate control system, which was not available in the earlier Ertiga. Talking about new, this car gets a new driver information display system as well. The TFT screen is borrowed from the Baleno and the Ciaz and shows you torque and power displays, average fuel efficiency, and a whole lot more. In fact, this is the first non-Nexa car to get this display, and the dials are all new as well. The steering though is the same one that you find on the Dzire and the Swift. It's the flat-bottomed unit. You get those forward inserts and it's leather wrapped in the top end plus model. The steering of course gets your audio controls here. Sitting up front, the driving position is fairly good. You have good visibility all around. The height adjustable driver's seat in fact gives you a good commanding view of the road ahead. Coming to comfort, there's decent lower back support. There could have been a little more under thigh support though. The new Ertiga's novelty feature though, I think, comes with these cooled and heated cup holders. So what Maruti has done here is fairly simple. They've just drawn a duct from the air vents up top and they channel air to the cup holders here. Now that means this is the same temperature that you're running inside the cabin. And that's not a bad thing because usually in the summers you want a cold drink, in the winters with your heater on you want a hot drink. So you got it there. You can in fact control the airflow over here with the scroller as well. So that's quite a clever feature that they've incorporated. What I don't like though about this cabin are these sun visors. They're really tiny and compared to the huge window that you have here, which is very good as you get plenty of light and it lends the cabin an airy ambience, this sun visor barely covers anything on the road. Coming to the second row, this door is huge and ingress-egress is fairly easy. Once you're inside, you have plenty of leg room here. On that side there is the lithium-ion battery pack, so you can't really put your feet all the way in, but behind the driver you can. The second row slides back and forth. So what this does is that it allows you to adjust how much leg room you can give to third row passengers. Now back to the second row itself, there's okay under thigh support here, although lower back support really could have been more. You get a central armrest here, although there are no cup holders here. You do get bottle holders in the door pads and you get seat back pockets on both seats. There is a 12-volt power outlet here. Otherwise, if I just make myself comfortable, there's plenty of space here and it makes for quite a comfortable journey. So this second row can be reclined. And what is new here is a single touch operation feature which allows you to move the seat forwards entirely, just like this. Now when it comes to the third row, the new rear subframe ensures that it's not so much of a knees up experience anymore. Having said that, you still need more under thigh support. But as far as seat back comfort is concerned, you get 3 positions to adjust your backrest angle. So when you're driving the Ertiga in city conditions, this petrol manual model is very easy to drive. The clutch is extremely light and the gearbox with its short throws is very easy to operate. Power delivery is linear and smooth in low range so far as urban driving conditions are concerned. And in fact, maneuverability has improved considerably for this car as well. For the steering setup is now lighter than earlier, and overall the car generally feels lighter on the handling department. The new rear axle and the steering setup has made this car much more comfortable to drive over its predecessor. As for ride comfort, the suspension setup definitely has become more supple. Out on the highway, this 1.5-litre engine offers very decent performance. At cruising speeds, the engine is usually doing around 2000 revolutions per minute. And at this speed, when you ask for more power, the engine responds in a linear manner. Of course, if you want more power, you can downshift. And as the revs rise, you will notice that from 3500 RPM onwards is where this engine really begins to shine, for it revs fairly cleanly to its 6000 RPM red line. Out on the expressway, the car stays stable at triple-digit speeds and cruising at 100 or 120 km an hour as is the national speed limit. And on this particular highway where I was driving, the speed limit was 80 km an hour. And at that speed, you can take fast sweeping bends in the Ertiga without a bother. For an MPV, it has minimal body roll and body control is very good. Maruti offers the 1.5-litre petrol engine in the Ertiga as standard with a mild hybrid system. This system uses a larger lead-acid battery as well as a lithium-ion battery pack. What the system does in essence is that it assists acceleration so that there is less load on the engine. That aside, the Ertiga also gets an engine stop-start system as standard. So this new petrol Ertiga should definitely be more fuel efficient than the model it replaces. I also sampled the automatic petrol Ertiga. Now this model comes with a 4-speed automatic gearbox synced to the same 1.5-litre petrol engine. Now that may sound like this car has got 2 gears less than some of the other cars out in the market today, for they come with 6-speed or even 7-speed automatic transmissions. However, the way Maruti has synced this powertrain is very good. The automatic Ertiga in fact offers very good drivability. In the city, acceleration is linear, there is always enough power, and the ratios are well spaced. And when you want to make a quick overtake, this gearbox won't disappoint you, as downshifts are fairly responsive. As for upshifts, they're fairly smooth as well. But it's out on the highway that this 4-speed gearbox really surprised me, for I simply didn't expect it to perform this well. Acceleration is linear and the gearbox goes about its business in a fairly smooth manner. My only complaint comes in the form that at triple-digit speeds, the powertrain does become a little noisy in the automatic model. So having driven both manual and automatic versions of the petrol Ertiga, I can tell you this, that the new model definitely takes the comfort quotient to a new level. The heated cool cup holders, the reclining seats in the second and third row, everything makes it very easy for occupants to get in and about the vehicle and travel in comfort. So this new petrol engine definitely improves drivability as well as fuel efficiency, and that's a great thing. This combined with the healthy standard equipment list makes the new Ertiga a very appealing proposition if you're in the market for an MPV. So do let us know what you think of the new Ertiga in comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for our YouTube video.